Hi, this is Don. Don Dike-Anukam, myself here this evening. Here in Carson City, Nevada. I don't know if you could see me. I guess you could probably faintly see me in the background. In the background is the center of, or at least the home of the executive branch of the Nevada state government here in Nevada, in the state of Nevada. As you know, today was Inauguration Day for the federal government, Washington, D.C., where the 46th president, Joseph Robinette Biden, was inaugurated as president of the United States today, and Kamala Harris was inaugurated as the 49th president of the United States today, concurrently near noon today. The oath was sworn in at approximately 11:53, 11:52 this morning for Mr. Biden, and he began his speech subsequently a couple minutes after noon, thus ending the Trump administration at noon today. This, for many, is the end of an era. This has been, for many, a long journey. I've seen a lot of comments online and pro and for, Trump and et cetera. And I felt the need to also culminate this day myself, because this has been a rather transformative administration for many of us, especially in the state. I came back to this business again because of this administration. Just because I felt time was right to come back. I felt the need was there to come back. From a long hiatus on the bench in public-private life. I felt that truth, transparency, clear storytelling, a direct kind of conversation needed to be had with you and all us again. And I felt that it was time for me to get back in the game again because of that. And I hope that I've done that, particularly to the best of my ability, as much as I can, wherever I can, with this device, or whatever device that I was using at the time. If I'm a little off, I apologize. We have gone through a lot, to say the least, because these 4 years have been a lot of ways, just to say the least. And I'm not going to try to characterize it. Just not. It's not my place. I think we all, if you have an opinion, you have an opinion. I think that your opinion is valid, and I'll leave it with that. I'm standing outside wearing a mask. That kind of says enough in itself of what state of conditions we have or are in. We are currently a nation in crisis on a number of issues. And this administration, the new administration, has a rather full plate to deal with. But concurrently from that, here at home in Nevada, we have our own set of issues to deal with, ranging from a budget crisis, an economic crisis, social division, housing issues here in northern Nevada, housing issues in southern Nevada. We've got our own plates full as well. And so, these are going to be tough times regardless, no matter what we do. But knowing that today is a bit of a transitory moment, you kind of have to at least pause and reflect on that. And I didn't script this per se because I kind of didn't want to make this seem like some kind of pitch or report, because I'm not I'm not actively reporting right now. I'm a private citizen again, just kind of back at school and probably doing freelance stuff here and there. But nevertheless, I wanted to at least register the moment, so I could look back on this moment 4 years from now and go, What was I thinking? What was I feeling? What was going on? How did I register the fact that I watched in a span of 6 hours? I haven't gone to bed, by the way. I was watching my email box for executive orders and reports and statements, and I watched this morning at around 8 in the morning, 8 or 8:10, President Trump, Marine One taking off from the White House South Lawn to depart to Andrews Air Force Base, where former President Trump, this is the first time I've said that, former President Trump gave a speech at Andrews Air Force Base, a farewell speech to speak to his supporters and family assembled, and then departed from Joint Base Andrews to Florida an hour before the end of his term. And where Vice President Mike Pence, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, and Republican Senate and U.S. House leadership and legislative leadership and members of government were at St. Matthew's Cathedral, which I have been at on Rhode Island Avenue. I've been to that church. I was there on Ash Wednesday for CPAC. And thankfully, because I went to that church, it actually saved my life, because apparently the coronavirus exposure originated at I believe at a mass that was held at CPAC, if my memory serves correctly. But nevertheless, that's where they were assembled this morning for church this morning prior to the inauguration. And they all then eventually ended up at the Capitol to celebrate or to initiate the incoming new administration and the moment of change that initiated. But I also, looking back with all that happening, with the pomp and pageantry, with a unique and just haunting notion that the country was in a different place than it was sometime, even 4 years ago, where it was a bigger audience, you could say, because there wasn't a pandemic going on. But also, it was a city, and dawning it. Let me give this another try and try to do this as quick as possible before the battery runs out, because that's kind of what happened. So I apologize, my battery ran out, and that's why the feed cut out. So, I guess I wanted to mark this day, and I'm going to be right back. Check something real quick. Alright, I'm still here, and I'm just checking something, so I'm just... This is what happens when you do something unplanned, unready, on the fly. Things go wrong sometimes. So again, this is not really some official thing. This is just me sharing a few thoughts with y'all since I was in town today. So kind of marking the moment, marking the day. Of the last sunset, so to speak, from this state capital, in this country, watching a new administration take over from an old. I'm kind of like, where I left off was realizing how lucky we were as a country. How lucky we are as a country that today happened. Today we had a peaceful transfer of power. No one got shot today. No one died today trying to change hands. We're trying to change power. Government changed peacefully. And I guess where I left off before this shut off, I think. I don't know if I caught it, but it did. It did, and it didn't. I'll say it again. I was thinking about what the events that happened 2 weeks ago on the 6th. 2 Wednesdays ago. At from 12 to about 5 in the evening in Washington, D.C. at the steps of the United States Capitol. And I was thinking to myself, if something like that had happened to this place here, how I would have felt. and I would have been devastated. I would have. This is like a second home. Though this place is like a second home to me. Coming here as a child to field trips and seeing the statue of Sarah Winnemucca in the hall, and seeing the executive hall, offices and legislature down the way. If I had seen something like that had happened to this place, I would have cried like I did the day I saw what happened in D.C. And if it wasn't for the acts of many brave people on the 6th, I don't know if we would have been able to celebrate today. And I think it just underscores how fortunate we are as a nation and as a people that we are able to do this today, and that we must never take for granted what many have fought for, especially today. Many will have strong feelings about these last 4 years, and I don't blame you. We've gone through a lot, just to say the least. I don't think I've ever shared this with many people, but I've actually have met Mr. Trump before. And I was thinking about sharing that exchange tonight, but I thought there's an old saying about saying if you have nothing nice to say, it's probably best not to say it. I think it's probably best today to probably do that. Keep that one a little close to the chest. Not because I'm afraid to or anything, but it's kind of a function of decorum. I think it's probably my own personal call on that one. As for now, I think it's just best to kind of keep that with myself for now. As I think we're all trying to wrestle with the issue of legacy and issue with the question of what we have gone through. I've always found reflection is always best, but also, as we are presently still in the moment, sometimes we can be a little rash with our calls, but also, we have gone through a lot, and I was kind of reflecting on the last several years, and especially the last year myself. I would be remiss to say that I've gone through a lot. So to stand here at this hour and to stand here today and tonight, speaking to you in a country free, that still the flag flies high, the standard flies high above the Capitol tonight. Well, at least it's not flying, it's not windy tonight, but the flag is still there, in the words of the Star-Spangled Banner. It gives me hope that we're going to be okay.